Welcome. Today's lesson is a review on graphing linear functions or linear equations. You'll basically see a linear equation in one of three forms. You'll either see it in slope-intercept form, which looks like y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept, or in other words, it goes through the point 0, b, whatever this b value is. You might see it in point slope form, which is a point on the line that's not necessarily the y-intercept and the slope m. Or you might see it in standard form, which will be in the form of ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all integers, and a will be positive. So the way we get information out of this, I have the same equation written in all three forms here. So this first equation, this is written in that y equals the slope m times x plus some b value, or minus 3. Since it's a minus 3, the b value is negative 3. That tells me I go through the point 0, negative 3, and it tells me my slope is 2 over 3, where remember slope, rise is the top number, how much I move up or down. The run is the bottom number, how much I move left or right. If it's a positive slope, I'll move up and to the right. If it's a negative slope, I'll move down and to the right. Okay, so let's actually graph this. I have this graph paper here. I'm going to graph this one right here. It's just not quite, camera can't quite see everything, but I'm going to go to the point 0, negative 3. So I come down 1, 2, 3. There's 0, negative 3, and I graph this point. And then I follow my slope of 2 over 3, which means positive 2 means to go up 2, positive 3 means to go right 3, and I graph a point there. I could actually think of that both the 2 and the 3 is negative. A negative 2 over a negative 3 makes it a positive slope. So I could go down 2 and left 3 and keep my slope positive. Then I grab some form of a straight edge, wherever I can find myself a straight edge, and I draw that line. So again, that was using the slope-intercept form of the line to find the y-intercept and to follow the slope. I could use the, I want to make sure you can see it, the point-slope form. Now remember, in the point-slope form here, I'm given a point where the x value is the opposite of what you see here. Always try to think of it as what value of x added to 6 will make this 0. Well, negative 6 plus 6 is 0, so my x is negative 6. What plus 7 is going to be 0? Well, negative 7 plus 0. So my y value is negative 7. So I go through the point negative 6, negative 7, and it has this slope, or m value, of 2/3. So again, if I was going to use that, so I'm going to slide this up so you can still see the point on my graph, I would have to go over x to negative 6. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's negative 6. And I would go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lo and behold, I'm still right on the same line that I got when I used the y-intercept. But I use now this point, negative 6, negative 7. And then if I follow the slope, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, I get the exact same line by using the point that's given and the slope. The last way is using the standard form. Now with the standard form, you can't really see a slope or directly any points. But if you remember that if you plug a 0 in for x, you're going to find your y-intercept by dividing this negative 3 over, because 2 times 0 is 0. That first term goes away, and you're left with just this simple one-step equation where I divide -3 over 9 divided by -3 would be -3, which, just like over here, is my y-intercept. It found my y-intercept. I can also find my x-intercept by plugging in a 0 for the y value. If I plug a 0 in for the y value, that goes away. I divide the 2 over, and I get 9/2. That's the one issue with sometimes using the standard form, is we don't get nice integer values, but we can still graph it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to those, obviously this y-intercept that I found, so I know I start here, and then I go to the x-intercepts of 9/2, which is 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. It's that point right there on the line. So then when I have those 2 points, I can draw the line and I get the exact same line. So this should help you. This should be a review, but help you to graph linear equations or linear functions that, bump the paper there, that you should be given. If you have questions, please bring them to class.